Alright, what's up everyone? This is NinjaDeathStrike bringing you another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. My opponent this time is MrGible, and he's using, surprise, surprise, another Sandstorm team. So let's see what's going to happen. He's going to lead with Hippo down, set up his Sand, and I'm going to go with Spike. I'm going to Leech Seed him right off the bat. I wasn't going to set up Stealth Rocks, but on the second turn I decided to, just because I wanted to get a little bit of residual damage on his team. So I'm going to go ahead and put out my rocks as he switches out to his Garchomp. And I'm going to assume that this is going to be a Swords Dance Garchomp, because no one in the right mind would bring in Scarf Chomp on a Ferrothorn. And so he does indeed go for a sub. I figured that's what he was going to do, and I brought in Rotom just to Hydro Pump it and break his sub down and force him to lock himself into Outrage if he wants to hurt me. Unfortunately, my first Hydro Pump's going to miss, and what follows is going to be an exercise in absurdity. I'm going to continue to miss my Hydro Pumps until he gets to +6. And Sandvale's just going to hacks me to death. I don't know. I really think that either evasion moves or any kind of evasion boost ought to be banned, or that we should just flat out ban weather in standard play. It seems like everyone uses a weather team, and if you don't use a weather team, you're immediately at a disadvantage this gen. It's fun sometimes, but I'm getting tired of facing it in every battle. And as you can see, I mean, Garchomp I missed 3 attacks in a row thanks to Sandvale hacks, and now he's at +6 behind a sub, so whatever, that's fun. You know, that's a fun way to play. Anyhow, I'm going to go to Ferrothorn since he's the only thing that can do anything, and I'm going to Protect now that he's chosen to lock himself into Outrage. Getting confused here, and now my only hope is to just hope for Confusion hacks, and you can see +6 Confusion attack takes more than half his health, and thank God I finally land an attack to break that thing's sub. So he's going to stay in, he's going to try to Outrage again, and he's going to get hurt again. And now, since Power Whip doesn't miss again, I'm able to take out Garchomp and really dodge a bullet there. But that doesn't take away the fact that that just happened. I mean, I don't know. That really got under my skin. Anyhow, Cradily comes in. Ferrothorn can't really hurt it, so I'm going to go out to Cheese, and his team is entirely physically based, so I'm going to set up my Reflect, and then thinking that this thing might be a mono attacker, meaning that it might only have 1 attack, I'm going to switch Cheese out as soon as I set up my Reflect, and I'm going to go into the Shadow. So here I bring the Shadow in. He's just going to keep setting up curses, which really isn't good because Cradily has the ability Suction Cups, which means it can't be removed from battle. So I can't Whirlwind it or Roar it, even if I had a Phaser on my team, which this team doesn't have a Phaser. And so it's kind of stuck in there. The only option I have is to kill it. I'm going to set up a sub here. He's going to predict me to attack and attempt to recover, which was nice for me. I got a free sub, and now I'm just going to go ahead and Shadow Ball to see how much I'm going to do, and Shadow Ball does nothing, coming off of my max special attack Timid Gengar, so I'm not as high as I could be, but still, Cradily, with its great special defense in the sand, doesn't even take 25% from a substitute. He finally reveals his attack, which is Rock Slide, and I disable it. And since he goes for Curse this next turn, I make the mistake of thinking that that's his only attack. And since he's disabled, I'm going to put up another sub here, and he's just going to continue to Curse. So this thing could be a major problem for me, and you're going to see that it actually is a major problem for me to take down. I think I go for a Focus Blast next, just because I want to see how much damage I'm going to do. Yes, I do decide to go for a Focus Blast, just to see what kind of damage I'm looking at. It does about 1/3, which clearly, since this thing has Recover, is not going to be enough to take it down. And since I only have 8 PP for Focus Blast, and probably half of them will miss since it's Focus Blast, I switch back to Shadow Ball looking for a special defense drop. So I go back for Shadow Ball, I get a special defense drop, and now he reveals that he does indeed have two attacks, his other attack being Seed Bomb. The reason he hadn't gone for it earlier was because I had a Reflect up and the Shadow resist Grass type since he's part poison. So now that Reflect goes down, he's free to use whichever attack he wants to take me out. He goes for Rock Slide at +4 or 5. That's obviously going to take down my Gengar, and he's at about 1/3 health. I know that Cheese is going to be death fodder here, but I just want to get some more damage on it. If he should have really recovered there. If he would have recovered, he probably would have swept the rest of my team just with that Cradily. But instead, he decides to take out Cheese, and that allows Bad Horse to come in and finally revenge kill this thing. But it caused a lot of problems for my team, and it put me in a really big hole that unfortunately I'm not going to be able to climb my way back out of. Thankfully, Close Combat does take it down, and he brings in Excadrill. I know it's going to have Sand Rush, but I have a Balloon, so it can't use Earthquake, which is great for me. But he goes for Rock Slide, and of course gets the flinch. So now Bad Horse can't do anything, and I can't switch out because anything I bring in is going to die. So I have no choice but to leave Bad Horse in as fodder and get a free switch in to Ferrothorn. So now he's going to go for Swords Dance, and I'm going to Vine Whip him. This next turn, after leftovers, I'm still going to be at full health, and I know that barring a crit, Ferrothorn will be able to take one Earthquake, so I just have to hope that Vine Whip hits. Power Whip, excuse me. Power Whip hits, which it does. Excadrill goes down, but it's 2-1. It's 2-on-3 now, and I have no way to deal with his Terrakion. So at this point, I know that I've lost. I'm just gonna stick it out and hope that maybe he'll make a bad play, but he's too good of a player to do that. He takes down Ferrothorn, and in comes Mamoswine. Obviously, my only choices are Earthquake or Ice Shard. Ice Shard's clearly not going to kill him from this point. So I go for the Earthquake just in case he decided to try to set up, but he doesn't. Goes for the Close Combat, takes down Dozer, and wins the match. So good game, MrGible. Does a decent team. Let me know what you guys think about sand and weather in general, and I'll have more battles coming your way soon. Thanks, guys.